grinding back there in the pack. Everybody fighting for position. It's tough to pass, and you got to get your spot when you can. On board with Nemechek, and that's Gilliland behind him.
Oh, he missed. Somebody missed. Somebody blew up.
Yeah, it's the 4 of Christopher Bell.
He's blown up, boys. Sorry.
The championship playoff points leader, but if there's anybody that could afford that, it was Bell, already with 4 wins this season. 4 here, looking at from the 29 of Chase Briscoe.
Whoa.
Wow. So Briscoe, some significant contact.
You heard John Hunter Nemechek actually hit the rev limiter.
It's not like he missed a shift.
He may have missed a gear as well.
But missing a shift is one thing. You hit the rev limiter. But when you go from 3rd to 2nd, it just immediately overturns the engine's RPMs and blows it up.
Yeah, these engines have rev limiters, but they can't catch it that quick when you go from 3rd to 2nd like that.
And watch the 18 of Noah Gragson. He had to narrowly avoid Bell when Bell had to get out of the gas, obviously, with the engine issue. And if you don't have a warning and you're right on the tailgate of one of those trucks that's having a problem, then you could get caught up in it as well. And looks like finally the day coming to an end for the 88 of Matt Crafton as well.
One of them eating a sandwich.
It was a double-decker, I think.
It was a double.
Oh, spinner.
That's Cody Coughlin, the 13 that's gone around. Coughlin going to be able to get it started and going again, or is he stuck in the mud there with the grass? It's so wet.
Remember all the rain we had this morning. I'm surprised we could move on. I'll tell you, as a kid, Kaz Grala, no matter how much road race experience he has, he does not want to see these restarts. You just subject yourself to getting punted out of the way, and we're getting ready to have one.
By the way, Austin Cindric has made his way by Johnny Sauter to move up to the 4th spot.
And it looks like there's the caution. It looks like right now, to me, Phil, the 18 of Gragson is faster than Haley. He was really heating just it up when the caution fell.
So that's the reason for the yellow with the 13 coming to a stop. But we're going to see Austin Cindric on this restart start from the 2nd row. And we've seen guys go from the 2nd row on a restart to the lead here today. So Cindric is right back there in the mix. Matter of fact, is Grala or Haley or Gragson going to be able to hold him off? I think that's the story right now, because Cindric seems like he has had the truck to beat.
Well, remember, he restarted 16th after the end of the 2nd stage, and here he is right now in the 4th spot.
That pumping and grinding in front of Coughlin. So Coughlin, you saw him get off track there with the left side tires, and eventually just brings it to a stop and then stuck in the grass.
Yeah, we had a lot of rain here overnight, and
John Hunter Nemechek, you see the significant damage. This is why. Watch. Going into turn 1.
We just got a little bit loose.
So much damage to that truck, Phil. And then you see he gets into the outside wall, but his front end was tore all to pieces before that.
His way in, all those behind him chasing him as we got another caution out on track, and it's the 63 coming to a stop after some contact. That's Kevin Donahue.
Man, these drivers up toward the front of the pack, they just get sorted out after restart. Caution flies. Those restarts are so intense, makes it tough.
Yeah, it makes probably the most anxious part of this race are the restarts.
Yeah, I'm all good.
You heard the disappointment in Donahue's voice. He was running.
I think we're far enough into a run now where we can see who's really going to be.
51 is Myatt Snyder going around.
Make sure you get it running when you can.
And the caution is going to come out with just 6 laps to go in this first stage. Doesn't look like Snyder hit anything, so that would be good news. Was running just inside the top 10 at the time.
Especially in traffic, and I talked about being loose on the bottom. This is a classic example of it. He couldn't hold the front of the truck down in the corner, started drifting up, got just beside Haley, took all the air off the right side of that truck and around him.
And Haley really didn't squeeze him. He gave him plenty of room, but Myatt just couldn't keep it down on the bottom. Did a nice job keeping that truck out of the wall, though.
Now, we anticipated that everyone would pit at the end of stage 1. Now we're 5 laps away from that, but I believe the pits are spinning off turn 4.
Point. You can see Crafton didn't like his truck. He got very loose. He was backwards as comes into the frame there. Big spin off turn 4.
He had been having some issues prior to this after a little contact with Ben Rhodes.
He had fallen all the way back to the 15th position. He has gone one lap down, but he's able to get into it a little bit sooner.
Got a problem on the track as the zero has gone around. That's racist relic from that angle.
Got a little bit too high, got up out of the traction compound, and the rear goes around. Let's see if he can keep that truck off the inside wall. Looks like he did, Vince.
Ball from Ryan Truex.
Lost a front.
Oh, Gregson going around. Contact.
He saved it.
Straight to his front damage here, guys. Front damage, left front.
Almost saved it and then caught it. Not sure which one of the trucks came by and caught the left front of Gregson there as he was just about ready to get it back under control. I think Johnny Sauter is the truck that actually made contact with Gregson, so I have to keep an eye on Sauter, another one of our playoff drivers, whether there's any damage to that machine.
Couldn't tell initially if there was any contact between the 27. Looks like maybe just a touch from the 27 or no?
I don't think so. I think Gregson just got into Gralla as he slid up the hill. He bounced into Gralla, had the wheels cut hard to the left, got him sideways. Johnny Sauter was just nowhere to go. Collected the left front. You can see him sliding up, and then bam, right into the side of the 33. And
I think the 27 did get him a little bit of a bump there after he had slowed his momentum so much.
I think it was just an issue of right there. He just couldn't get that truck turned. Bounced off Gralla, bounced into Johnny Sauter.
If that damage to Johnny Sauter's truck is between the tires, then I don't think it's going to make a whole lot of difference.
It looks like that is where Gregson made contact with Sauter. We'll see if we can get a better view of it from our up-top cameras, but there's Gregson with the issue on the left front.
He's been able to stay on the lead lap. Looks like that splitter's pushed down a little bit, doesn't it, Michael?
Yeah, I think that'll cause him issues when he gets up to speed.
World Truck Series playoff opener, the 19 of Austin Cindric and the 33 of Kaz Gralla. Not the first time those two have gotten together this season. Riding on board here with the 33 of Gralla. What happens?
Kaz has been trying to get around him. Gotten the throttle just a little bit quicker than Austin. Remember, Austin only had 2 tires. Kaz was on 4 tires.
And Cindric was struggling too. He was really loose on those 2 tires, and Kaz does a nice job of getting down on the apron and off the track to avoid Cindric. That's a tough move to make down there. Around goes Cindric. He'll probably come to pit road and get 4 tires, I would guess, Phil, and have the freshest tires on the track.
Yeah, I would think so too, and maybe anybody else out there that's struggling right now.
Like his teammate Chase Briscoe, fighting for those playoff.
Still trying to stay out front.
Oh,
but
there's trouble.
Not going to happen as Truex has slipped back. And there's Myatt Snyder with wall contact. And the caution is out.
Bottom clear, caution is out. Roll slow here.
There was another truck starting up near the front that had some damage, it looked like.
Yeah, there was a truck that tried to get in line up in the top 5, I think, and couldn't really see which one it was. But that's where this all started. They got bottled up ahead of Myatt. He probably caught some contact from behind, I'd guess, Phil, and sent him sliding.
Yeah, what a tough break for Myatt. Top 10 finishes last time out of Chicago in this 51 truck.
Didn't even get a chance to race tonight.
Making just his 5th start of the season. And watch it starting to bottle up. The 27 and the 4 there checked up a little bit. And maybe Friesen got involved in that as well in the 52 truck before Myatt Snyder lost control.
Yeah, pretty fortunate as he went back up the racetrack that nobody hit him.
There you see right there, that's the smoke I saw. It looked like Ben Rhodes trying to move up in front of, was that Bell?
It looked like Haley got some damage on the left front corner of that 24 truck.
This is from the 13 of Cody Coughlin.
Oh, that's Haley.
So let's cop here.
Yeah, it looked like Haley got into the back of the 27 just a little bit.
I think the 27 was coming up to close the hole.
This is from Noah Gregson's point of view.
What a tough break. You hate to see that. The kid didn't even get a chance to get to racing. And you can see right there, Rhodes is moving up, and there's a bit of a hole there.
Yeah, the 24 of Haley stuck his nose in that hole there. Then Ben Rhodes went up. He sees there are 3 wide in front of him. And unfortunately, Myatt Snyder with a little contact from
Chase Briscoe and Christopher Bell on the front row. Johnny Sauter going around and some contact.
No caution yet. Caution's out. Caution's out.
Stuart Friesen in the 52 with heavy front end damage.
Johnny was getting a push from behind and it turned him sideways.
for the second week in a row. Damage to the right side of the 21 truck. But
Get
Phil,
your bear bond ready. Get your bear bond ready.
I think he might be really lucky. I don't think there's major damage to that 21 truck. On the other hand, Justin Haley's got some issues. Why?
Why? My why?
Why?
Oh, look at Stuart Friesen, another one of the GMS entries involved.
That's a tough break for Friesen. He'd shown good speed so far today in practice and qualifying.
That damage all done from running into the side of Johnny Sauter. If that tells you how hard Sauter got hit, if he can get away with this.
Watch the 19 of Austin Cindric. That's the third truck in line on the outside.
Oh, man.
I think Cindric went to go around Sauter.
He did make it.
Well, it looked like there was all of a sudden a gap between Johnny Sauter and Chase Briscoe.
Like Johnny lost some momentum
Lost
for some
some
reason.
momentum for some reason.
Now, did Chase,
Watch Cindric on board here.
Watch him gain all of a sudden.
Still there inside.
Johnny might have missed a shift there, Phil.
Might have missed a gear. I don't think we can put that on Austin Cindric at all.
It's amazing if Sauter's going to escape this with no more damage than just some right side damage. I know he took it pretty heavy in the door, but it didn't look to be that bad for Sauter.
Watch Kaz Gralla in the white truck. He hits Sauter at the same time.
A little bit of right front corner damage on the.
Watch how that, as we look at the points as they run right now, watch how loose. Oh, mistake by Cindric.
Cindric going around and through the grass.
Got to keep that truck out of the inside wall.
Does it?
Pit wall does a great job doing that.
All right. Stay on the apron here. Caution out.
Avoided disaster. Austin Cindric was running 8.
Asking the spotter, did anyone see any damage there?
How could you tell as much as was there? But he just tries to squeeze up in there. Maybe probably trying to side draft the 98 truck and just misjudged it a bit, it looked like.
It's right on board with Cindric. Can't believe he didn't get any more damage than.
Clear behind him if you need it.
Well, more often than not, you go through that grass and you do some significant damage to your truck.
But we're going. This is Vegas. We're rolling the dice. We're going to try to win one.
Caution's out. Caution is out. Austin Wayne Self.
That's not what heard.
Already into the outside safer barrier there. You can see the nose is.
Austin Wayne Self. And let's take a look at. He's that red truck just up ahead of you here.
He cut down the right front tire. You saw the sparks underneath that truck.
Oh, and an issue. Caution is out. There's the 33 of Gralla, one of our championship contenders, and he's got a big hit in the front. So already 2 of our championship contenders with major issues today. Phil.
Yeah, the 19 of Austin Cindric came down pit road, and I think it was a great call by crew chief Doug Randolph because they didn't look like they were going to get any stage points. They came in, all they did was top it off with fuel, pushed a flat back down. I've asked if they were going to come in and pit when the stage ends, and nobody has told me yet. They don't know yet.
I would guess they would stay outfield, try to grab some track position and be set to run to the next stage break and grab some points in that one. I like you, I love that call. That has every look of having an issue. Somebody maybe. Oh, Cody Coughlin got high.
That's the 47 of Chris Fontaine.
Fontaine saves his truck and heads to pit road. I don't know who Kaz got into. Maybe hit from behind as he checked up. It looks like he shoved into the outside wall.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if he just got. Yeah, he just got up the racetrack right there and then tried to come back down, and Fontaine was there.
Yeah, it looked like maybe the 16 of Ryan Truex hit Kaz in the back, knocked him into the wall. For some reason, it looked like the 27 of Ben Rhodes lost his momentum there. Probably let off when he saw the contact between the 2 trucks ahead, and just Kaz was in the wrong place at the wrong time. There was nothing he could do there, just got hit from behind.
Heartbreaker for the 33 of Gralla. Right on board with him here.
It's possible. Let's see what happens. Down. And we're wrecked.
Chain reaction.
Chain reaction, yeah. Once they check up right there, everybody's coming up off the corner, and it just gets worse as you go back in the line.
There's the damage on the 16 of Ryan Truex, another one of those drivers hoping to get his first career win here today. So Kaz Gralla showed speed in qualifying. In fact, a lot of people in the garage talking about maybe he was one of those we thought might have the pole caliber speed in that 33 in qualifying, but they had an issue in qualifying, had to start the race at the back.
It's flopping in towards the tire, and you just don't want the tire to blow out.
Here's how it happened.
Oh, Ben Rhodes clips it. Look, was that Rhodes in the 27? I couldn't tell for sure, but he clipped Clay Greenfield in that beautiful red, white, and blue truck, and around Greenfield win, and that collected Nemechek.
Boy, Nemechek didn't have anywhere to go. You see him behind the 88.
That was indeed Rhodes that tried to go in a hole that Greenfield closed, and it collected those other trucks.
Yeah, and he just had such a huge rate of speed as he was coming up on him there, and just caught him right there going into the corner. And we talked about it earlier, being off-centered. He caught him in the left rear and just immediately turned him.
Well, and remember when we talked to him after that second stage, and he said, I just want to run a smart race. I just want to keep it clean. And we talked about the fact that you can run smart, but sometimes you're just a victim of somebody else's situation, and that's exactly what happened with John Hunter Nemechek.
Yeah, and that's just the case here at Talladega and Daytona. You can run all day and have everything go your way, and it just takes one mistake by somebody else, wrong spot, wrong time, and this happens.
Matt Crafton had a ringside seat for that tussle.
They're wrecking behind you. They're wrecking behind you.
Very fortunate for the 45 truck of Self there. You see him get clipped on that corner, but he was able to keep it going straight.
Yeah, a few more inches and he would have been turned right into the wall.
Had led just 3 laps before today. Spent a good amount of time out front, but now it's Grant Enfinger, last year's winner, in contact, and Coughlin goes around. Big hit for Coughlin and Fontaine and others involved. And there's John Hunter Nemechek. Looks like he has escaped. But Coughlin did not. Myatt Snyder with some smoke has obviously been involved in it as well. The 29 of Briscoe. Man, look at the damage Fontaine had. Such a good run.
Man, you just see the tight racing, and Kevin, as every lap winds off, they get more aggressive with the side drafting. Had guys that quite frankly haven't run at the front a lot this year, and they could taste the lead here at Talladega.
Well, that's the mentality that you have coming here, especially when you hadn't won a race all year. You know that this is your opportunity, and you're willing to take more risks than you are at other places, because you know you can make something happen by pushing and shoving and getting yourself in position up front and up in front of the pack. So these guys were doing everything they can to try to get to the front and stay there.
Here's you called it, Kevin. Now watch Bell. He gives Enfinger a push. They're clear of this. But now here comes Gregson, 3 wide up the middle, and this has to be where problems started. Yeah.
Myatt Snyder looked like he got into the back end of the 13 and spun him.
Well, what happens is that bottom lane here through the tri-oval is much flatter than the rest of the lanes going up. And when you're in the middle, you're already in a bad spot because the back end of your truck starts to want to wiggle around. But what you saw there was Myatt Snyder was in the middle. And it looked like he came up the racetrack there, and as he went, he got loose right there, and then he just touched the back of the 13 in the right rear, and the 47 came down, and it all broke loose there.
You can see briefly up in the air was the 13 truck, and he settled right back down. The aerodynamic flaps you see on that bed, Vince, those flaps opening up, that's helping to evacuate the air from under the truck and set it back down.
Like they served their purpose.
I can see why Fontaine was slow. Wow, that was a heavy hit for him. I just think Snyder tried to get into a hole, got a little bit loose, and clipped Cody Coughlin.
Yeah, when you're in the middle like that, you know how it is, Michael. It's just you have to be so much more careful with the steering wheel and the input that you put into the right or left, because everything just becomes much easier to spin out or get loose, and the truck just is not as stable as it is in the outside or inside lanes, when the middle is a tough place to be through that tri-oval.
Almost like if you've ever had to walk on the ice, it's kind of tough to get your balance and feel secure.
Well, you see him, he kind of, I don't know if he thought the 13 was going to come back up the racetrack right there, but he kind of jerked the truck to the right. The 51 truck of Mike Snyder kind of jerked the truck to the right, and then when he went back to the left, when you put that input into the wheel to the right and then pull it right back to the left, it instantly makes the truck loose.
And watch at the back of the screen, the pink truck that's torn up. That's John Hunter Nemechek. Heavy contact by Wendell Chavis there into the Rhodes truck. Watch where Nemechek goes. He's racing to make the next round of the playoffs, and he used every bit of the available real estate there down into turn 1 to clear that mess.
Well, don't hit me, don't hit me, don't hit me.
And that move right there is probably going to make the playoffs for him. I mean, that was just one of those moves that you don't know where the trucks are going to go, and you go with your instinct and shooting for the gap there. But those are big hits.
That's the 13 of Coughlin, and then the 47 of Fontaine. Now on board with Myatt Snyder.
He sees.
Working here. Outside, outside. Outside, outside.
Yeah, he was just in trouble. When he started going up the racetrack, and you could see that steering wheel, and it started going back to the right, back to the left, back to the right. He was in trouble right from the beginning.
And you can see the Coughlin truck, he lost his momentum, and that meant opportunities to get 2, even 3 wide. Snyder saw that chance and he took it, but I think just a little aggressive with the steering. The trucks are light in this tri-oval anyway. I mean, they're even at best in the pack, you can barely hang on to them. When you try to make a quick move, it can get you in trouble.
John Hunter Nemechek, you saw the repairs being done there, and then this one, the big one here with Cody Coughlin. And there was Greenfield involved after some contact from Myatt Snyder, Ben Rhodes. But maybe one of the big storylines of this accident, as you see Coughlin kind of get up over the top there of the 47, was that somehow John Hunter Nemechek was able to get through it all without suffering more damage, as Chris Fontaine made his way to the medical center. And you look at our race summary, Grant Infinger, our current leader. So Nemechek.
Bell picked the high line. I like the bottom, and it looks like the bottom's going to work early, but can Bell rebound up top?
Well, the thing I don't like is that gap from Grant Infinger in the 98 truck, the second truck on the top, to the truck behind him, and all those trucks on the bottom were formed up. So we'll just have to see if that top line can ever make up ground.
It's Chase Briscoe on the outside there, getting a little help, but the battle is at the front, and it's Parker Kligerman with some help from Grant Infinger.
Yeah, that truck pulling out in the middle allowed that top lane to stay formed up and broke the momentum of the bottom lane, and the top lane was able to get right out in front of those guys when they started getting scattered.
Sauter jumps to the outside, hoping that he gets some help. They're coming through the tri-oval to the white flag. Kligerman by a nose over Infinger as they cross the line in the final lap, and contact and a big crash.
And John Hunter Nemechek sneaks through.
Behind you, big wreck.
And the 8 of John Hunter Nemechek escapes, and it's going to be Parker Kligerman for the second time, a winner at Talladega.